Prince George's County, a man has been convicted for killing his ex-girlfriend. The murder happened just days after he was released from jail and put on house arrest for allegedly assaulting her.
In every home, behind every closed door, there's a story waiting to be uncovered. Welcome to Dark Whispers, where we dive deep into the hidden truths of domestic crime and the relationships that turn deadly. If you're drawn to real stories, powerful insights, and the shadows most people avoid, you're in the right place. Subscribe now and step into the whispers they never wanted you to hear.
He tried to strangle her, got arrested, got released, and within days, she was gone. The system had every chance to stop this. This is the story of Sherita Chriswell, a mother, a daughter, a woman who did everything she was supposed to do. She reported him. She let the law handle it. And the law let her down in the worst way imaginable. We are in Landover, Maryland, Prince George's County. And what happened here is the kind of story that makes you want to scream at the top of your lungs, because it did not have to end this way. It really did not. So let's talk about it. Sherita Chriswell and Harry Lindsey had what a lot of people would call a complicated relationship. On again, off again. The kind of relationship where you love somebody, you leave, you come back, you try again. And somewhere in that cycle, things get darker and darker until you can barely recognize what it even was in the first place. They shared something real, though. 2 daughters, 2 little girls who called Sherita Mama and Harry Daddy. And for a while, that was enough to keep the thread between them alive. But Harry Lindsey was not a safe person to love. Let me tell you something. The signs were there, and eventually, they stopped being signs and started being incidents. Real ones, documented ones, the kind that land you in handcuffs. Because weeks before July 2025, Harry Lindsey was arrested by Prince George's County Police. The charge? Allegedly trying to strangle Sherita. Not push, not shove, strangle. With his hands. The woman who was the mother of his children. Period. That is not a relationship problem. That is a crime. Now here is where this story takes a turn that is going to make your stomach drop. After that arrest, after he put his hands around her throat, prosecutors looked at this man and said, "Do not let him go." They objected to his release. They stood in that courtroom and said, "This man is a danger. Keep him locked up." The judge said no. Harry Lindsey walked out of jail. He was put on house arrest and ordered to stay away from Sherita. A stay-away order? That piece of paper that is supposed to keep a dangerous man on one side and a woman trying to live her life on the other. Oh, so now a piece of paper is supposed to protect her life? Make it make sense. Because here is what happened next. He didn't stay away. On July 5th, 2025, officers were called to an apartment on Stretford Way in Landover. When they arrived, they found Sherita Chriswell. She had been shot, multiple gunshot wounds, and she did not make it. She died right there at the scene. Harry Lindsey had gone from trying to strangle her to shooting her while he was on house arrest, while he was supposed to be nowhere near her. 2 little girls were now without their mother. And Sherita's mama, who loved her daughter and had been watching all of this unfold, now had to get a phone call that no parent should ever have to receive. But the story was not over, because the people who failed Sherita while she was alive were now about to be tested on whether they could deliver justice after her death. Surveillance cameras had captured something, and police were already moving. The morning after Sherita was killed, police were already on it. Surveillance cameras in the area had caught enough to point them in a direction, enough to put a name and a face to what happened on Stretford Way the night before. And that name was Harry Lindsey, the same man who had been arrested weeks earlier for putting his hands around Sherita's throat. The same man who was supposed to be home, on house arrest, far away from her. Like, he was wearing a monitoring device and still showed up. Investigators tracked him down and arrested him the very next day, July 6, 2025. Less than 24 hours after Sherita took her last breath. Now, some people might look at a quick arrest and think, okay, at least they got him fast. And yes, they did. But let's not move past the fact that the arrest should have happened before the murder. The system had him in custody, and chose to let him walk. Anyways, he was in custody now, and the case was headed to trial. The trial lasted 4 days. 4 days for prosecutors to lay out what happened to Sherita Chriswell and why Harry Lindsey was responsible for it. And the thing they had to prove, beyond just the shooting itself, was that this was premeditated. That Harry Lindsey did not just show up in a moment of rage, that he thought about it, planned it, made a decision to end her life. The jury heard it all. The prior arrest for strangulation, the prosecutor's objection to his release, the house arrest order, the stay-away order, the surveillance footage, the timeline of events that brought everything to July 5th, 2025. And when it was over, the jury came back with a verdict. Guilty. First-degree murder. Harry Lindsey was found guilty of killing Sherita Chriswell, the mother of his own daughters, a woman he was legally ordered to stay away from. Guilty? Premeditated. He planned it. Moving on, because the verdict was only one part of what happened in that courtroom. The other part was what came after. Outside those walls, in front of cameras, where the people who loved Sherita finally got to speak. Sherita's mother stood there and said what any mother in her position would say, honest, raw, and from a place of pain that does not go away just because a jury read a verdict. I feel so much better right now, but this don't take away the pain that I endure. That'll never go away. And she was right. A conviction does not bring anybody back. It does not unring that bell. Those 2 little girls still wake up every morning without their mother. Sherita's mama still has a daughter-shaped hole in her life that no courtroom can fill. But hey, justice still matters, even when it comes too late. The Prince George's County State's attorney also spoke after the verdict, and the words were direct. I want to say today is a day I never asked for, but it's a day I needed. This case reinforces an important message to anyone suffering from domestic violence abuse. Please come forward and report it. You are not alone. And that last part, please sit with that for a second. Because Sherita did come forward. She did report it. And the system still failed her. So when we tell survivors to report it, we also have to hold the system accountable for what it does with those reports. Because reporting is only half of the equation. What happens after the report? That is where Sherita's story went wrong. Harry Lindsey's sentencing was scheduled for July 24th, and with a first-degree murder conviction, prosecutors were looking at life in prison. They told Sherita's family they would recommend a fair sentence. Whatever fair even looks like when 2 daughters have grown up without their mother. Sherita Chriswell was somebody's daughter, somebody's mother, a woman who was trying to live her life and raise her girls and get out of something that was hurting her. She did what we tell survivors to do. She reported him. She let the law step in, and the law looked at a man who had just tried to strangle her and sent him home. That is the part of this story that we cannot let get buried under the verdict. Yes, Harry Lindsey was convicted. Yes, he is going to spend the rest of his life in prison. But Sherita is still gone, and her daughters are still growing up without her. And that outcome was not inevitable. It was a choice made in a courtroom weeks before the murder, when a judge decided that a stay-away order and a monitoring bracelet were enough to protect a woman from a man who had already shown exactly what he was capable of. It was not enough. It was never going to be enough. And this is not just Sherita's story. This happens more than we talk about. A woman reports. A man gets released. And then she pays the price for trusting a system that was not ready to fully protect her. It is a pattern. And until we start treating domestic violence like the life or death emergency that it is, at every level, from the first report all the way through to how judges make release decisions. We are going to keep telling these stories. Sherita's mother said her daughter should have a voice, a future, a life. She was right. Sherita deserved all of that. And so does every woman sitting in a situation right now, trying to figure out her next move, wondering if she will be believed, wondering if reporting will actually keep her safe. If that is you, or somebody you know, please reach out to the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233. They are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You do not have to figure this out alone. And to Sherita Chriswell, we see you. We say your name, and we will not let your story be forgotten. If this video made you feel something, if it made you think about someone you know or a situation you've seen, share it. Talk about it. That conversation you have with somebody after watching this might be the one that saves a life. Like, comment, and subscribe to Dark Whispers, because these stories deserve to be told, and the people we lost deserve to be remembered. I said what I said.